Good morning. It is almost 7:15, and I am on my way to work. It's Friday. I woke up this morning thinking next weekend is my bachelorette party, and the weekend after that I will be married. I also woke up this morning, and I wanted to finish talking about, dating and Ron. So, I had two semi-serious relationships, kind of. I had one that was long-term and we lived together, and I was very young. I was from 15 to 22. That didn't work out. And then after that, I didn't get with anyone until maybe 3 years later, and I got with this guy, and we were on and off for about 2 years, kind of had an open relationship. We weren't exclusive with each other, and then towards the last year we were exclusive, and that didn't work out. So and then I dated multiple people and was pretty much living the LA lifestyle, I guess you can say, and I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of people and stuff, and then I decided to date a guy exclusively for almost 4 months, but I don't consider that a relationship, I guess, like a serious relationship, because I ended it after 4 months because the guy was just way too insecure. He accused me of cheating constantly, he accused me of lying constantly, and I never really gave him a reason to do that. I ended up finding out that he had gotten cheated on before by his previous girlfriend, and I guess he never got over that. And that brings me to my point. Before I got with Ron and felt like I was ready to commit to somebody, I wanted to make sure that I had myself put together, and by that I mean emotionally unattached to anyone else, that I was ready, emotionally available to accept someone else's love, that I loved myself enough that I felt content with myself, that I didn't need someone to make me happy, because I was already happy. I don't know if people do this, but I just sat down with myself and I was like, okay, I know I'm not ready for a relationship right now. I have no desire to be in a commitment. Excuse me. Because I was still sort of kind of having an on and off relationship with one of my ex-boyfriends. So no matter who came into my life, like, it was gonna be ruined. So I wanted to make sure that that was nipped in the bud, and that, I was really ready, because I didn't want to find the right person then and fuck it up because I have all my baggage that I didn't deal with. So one of the reasons why my high school sweetheart and I broke up was because he cheated on me. He cheated on me, and I never really got over that. I tried to get past it, and it just never really happened. And then also because he kind of told me that he was sort of falling for one of my best friends, which sucked. And it really fucked me up, like, self-esteem wise, because I was like, well, what's wrong with me? How come you don't want me, So that took a while for me to get over, like a long time. So that's why I was on and off again with him. I was not committing to anyone else, and I was just like, I had to do a lot of work on myself before I could even consider really being with anyone else. So when I had just turned 27, I was in a good place. I had lost weight, so I had been 260, and then I went down to 235 just doing what was it, P90X. I had went down to 235. I had given up soda, fried foods, carbs. I had given up oil and frying anything, and everything that I ate was baked, and it was awesome. It took a lot of dedication on my part, and I exercised 7 times a week for 2 hours. So I was like around the clock, just on top of it. And I did lose weight. It's not as much as I wanted to lose weight, but I felt good. And so I was like, I think that I'm ready to be with someone. So when I put that ad on Craigslist and Ron responded, we text back and forth. Well, we emailed back and forth, and then I gave him my number. Then we text back and forth, and then he asked me on a date fairly quickly. And I agreed because I was like, fine, let's get it over with. Let's see what happens. And it was probably one of the best days of my life. Like, as soon as I met him, I was already like, wow, he could be the person. And I never have that thought. I never, ever have that thought in my head when I go out on dates. I mean, usually like nonchalant or whatever. But with him, like, I was very chill. But when we started talking and I saw like the way he was, and he was just not your regular California boy. He was not. Well, obviously he wasn't born here. And it was just such a good date. He didn't try anything inappropriate. He didn't say anything inappropriate. He wasn't looking directly at my chest, although I know he probably glanced down a couple times because it was hard to miss. I used to have big boobs back then, and I used to wear pretty revealing clothes. So, we went out bowling, and then afterwards he took me to an Asian restaurant. I think it was sushi. I'm not sure. And that was the first time in 3 months that I had went out to eat. And it was so hard for me to eat that meal because, one, my head was like, no, you've been doing so good. And the other one's like, you don't want to be that girl who's like, I can't eat this and I can't eat that. So I ate. And that was the beginning of the end of my weight loss. But whatever. We dated for about 2 weeks straight. Like, he didn't wait for the 3-day rule to call me or anything like that. As soon as he dropped me off home, he was like, I really like spending time with you. Like, I really like talking to you. What are you doing tomorrow? Before that, he did do something that I was like, no, because dating in LA, you kind of come to expect certain things from guys. So when he asked me, hey, I really had a good time tonight. I really wish I could spend more time with you. How about we go upstairs to my apartment and watch a movie? To me, that's code, like, I want to go upstairs and, like, have sex with you. I said no. I'm sorry, but no. And he looked a little confused, but he's like, okay, well, what are you doing tomorrow? Like, I'm like, I'm going to school, because at the time I was in school. I get off at 6. And he's like, well, how about I take you to dinner? I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. I can pick you up at 6:30 or 7, and we can go out for dinner. I'm like, oh, okay. So that happened. We went to Kabuki's, and I tried some actual sushi for the first time, which was great. And then that same night, he asked me out again, and it just continued that way for like 2 weeks straight until like our second week dating. He finally was like, I was confused because I'm like, are we together? We're not together, because he called me every day. He told me exactly what his schedule was. He, wanted to spend time with me. He answered my text messages and called me. So I'm just like, are we a thing? I don't know what's going on. And I kind of hinted. I was like, so what's going on, And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, what are we? And I know it was too soon to ask, but he was giving me so many, like, positive messages. Like, I was just not used to it. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting the wrong impression.
Starbucks cookie today.
Hi, can I get a bacon and Gouda breakfast sandwich?
Bacon Gouda breakfast sandwich. Anything else?
And a protein bistro box?
And a protein bistro box, okay?
That's it.
Just food today, nothing to drink?
No, thank you.
Okay, we'll see you at the window.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the protein box is for later. The sandwich is for now. Although I only finished half. And yeah, I don't want to have coffee because, you know, I'm pregnant now. So what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I asked him what we were because he was just so totally available that it confused me, and I didn't want to emotionally attach to him, and then it wasn't what I thought it was. So I'm like, well, just tell me what it is, you know? And he's like, well, I like spending a lot of time with you, and I don't want to date anyone else. Are you dating anyone else? I'm like, no. He's like, okay then, I think we should just date each other and just be official. I'm like, oh, I could do that. And I didn't let on, but I was super, 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 super happy. And I knew in those first couple of dates that I wanted to be real with him. I wanted to be completely open and honest and not play any games, because he wasn't playing any games with me. And I just wanted to make sure that we're both on the same page, and it was so effortless with him. It was so easy to communicate with him in the beginning. I'll get to that later. With him that I don't know. It just happened so easily that I still can't believe that it happened that way. Because if you've ever been dating as long as I have, you know that guys can be a puzzle. Good. Thank you. Protein box. Thank you. Yeah, guys can be a puzzle. They can mess with you emotionally by making you think that, you know, you guys are going to be a thing, and then they end up dating other people, and you end up finding out and feel stupid because you thought it was just you guys, but you guys never talked about it, so it's not really his fault. And all kinds of things can happen. So with Ron, it was just so natural. It all just fell into place naturally. I didn't have to force it. I didn't have to play guessing games, and it just made me feel so good that even if it didn't last that long, I thought in my head, like, I want to enjoy this. I want to enjoy this and really be in it 100%. Even if we don't end up working out, because this is amazing. This never happens. So I want to be 100% all in, and just whatever happens. And if I end up getting my heart broken, that's fine, because it was worth it for those couple months that I was extremely happy. So yeah, that's what I did, and he moved pretty quickly. But we'll get to that another video, because that's a longer story. But yeah, that is how we became official. And my friends did not believe me. They were like, shut up. Boyfriend? What is that? You don't have boyfriends. My sister even called him the flavor of the month. And because he was so quiet, and he didn't drink, and he doesn't smoke, and he doesn't party or anything like that, they just couldn't believe why I would be interested in him. But if you know me, and you truly know me, you know the people that I date, I don't have a type. I just like nice guys. Like, I like the dorky, shy type, I guess you can say, the nerdy kind. And I guess he just wasn't. It wasn't what my friends expected of me, I guess. So, which is fine. Because in the end, the only thing that matters is that you're happy with your partner. And nobody's there with you when the doors are closed. So as long as you're happy with them and your relationship is working out, then everybody else has to deal with it. But I will post another video with, you know, the middle of our relationship, like how we we transitioned from just dating to being exclusive, and some of the challenges we've had. But yeah, I just want to give you guys a quick into our relationship kind of background, and I hope you guys have a really good Friday. And I'm sorry if the sun's like all in my face and I look like a ghost, but I am driving, heading towards the sun. So you guys have a good Friday, have a good weekend. I don't think I'm going to be able to post anything this Saturday and Sunday, because I have to go do my final hairdo for the wedding. I have to go do my final details for the venue, and I have to do my final touches for the florist. So it's just a busy weekend. But I will see you guys soon.